So, hi, hello, greetings, welcome to my speed paint, or speed draw, speed color, I don't know, but I'm coloring a portrait of my character Isorene today with some colored pencils. The face claims I use as reference for this character are Coco Diosa, I think I pronounced that right, I really hope I pronounced that right, Anak, and Dayudesu, all on Instagram. So while I'm here, I was thinking I'd talk a little bit about color, specifically coloring skin. When I color skin tones, I tend to gravitate towards bright, unusual rainbow colors rather than the expected umbers, ochres, and peaches. I found when studying skin, especially in a life drawing environment, the colors I see are much more vibrant than one might expect. I'm not using paint in this drawing, obviously, but I love oil painting, and my approach to oil painting and color mixing in oil painting is seeing what colors structure the colors I'm emulating rather than the whole color itself. Like, instead of this highlight is a peach color, I think this highlight has some cad red, cad yellow, a little bit of yellow ochre, titanium white, and quinacridone red. I don't know if that's something everyone does, but I think it's an effective approach to coloring. But when I'm not painting and instead using markers or colored pencils in this case, I still find myself reaching for the bright colors. I set a base of one color that sums up the character's skin tone. In this case, I use a cool sienna, and then I work on top of that with the more interesting and unexpected tones across the face. In the shadows, there are a lot of purples and greens, while in the highlights I find a lot of blues and yellows. And in the parts of the face that have a lot of blood flow, well, I like to take inspiration from Norman Rockwell with bright reds, pinks, and oranges, or as the kids say nowadays, the tumbler nose. The best way to see more colors in skin, and the best way to understand naturalistic art in general, is by studying from reference, whether that's from life or a photo. I'd also suggest finding skin tones on the far end of the color spectrum, like pale porcelain skin or deep night sky skin. In pale tones, you'll see a lot of colors popping up from underneath the skin surface, like veins and blood vessels. While with deep skin tones, you'll see a lot of reflections of the character's environment. You should also take into consideration what undertones the character has. I imagine this character as having cool red and neutral undertones, almost eggplant purple in softer lighting scenarios. In her case, I'm using lots of purples and blues with a little bit of green, orange, and yellow to break it up here and there. It's also important for character design in general to know the fine details of her character's appearance, and that includes their color scheme. When I'm drawing someone's character and they tell me they have a medium skin tone, I don't really think that's nearly enough information. Like, is it a cool medium? Warm golden? Maybe I'm just a little obsessive about character design, but I really love diving into the foundations of my character's appearance. Also, when designing a character, I think it's interesting to assign them a specific color. For Isorene, her color is a deep purple because she's very shy, kind of awkward, and has to overcome low self-esteem and being put down by herself and others. I think of purple as a gentle, subtle color with a hint of magical energy. Purple is the rarest color in nature, true fact, which is why it's so mystifying and loved by so many people. On another note, Isorene has superpowers and glows purple when she activates them. I think this is kind of neat because while purple is gentle and serene, it can also bring an air of power and supernatural magic. When Isorene first gets her powers, she starts her journey towards bettering herself and gaining confidence. So, she's shy and awkward, but that doesn't mean she's not worthy of respect from herself and others. Anyways, that was a bit of a tangent, but I just thought I'd kind of go off on a bunch of different stuff, I don't know. But yeah, right now, I've kind of laid down all the foundations. I think, when coloring, whether that's painting or, colored pencils, whatever, it's best to lay down like sections of color instead of focusing in on one area and moving out from there. I know a lot of people like do that technique, and that's fine. I just find it's a lot more effective to block in colors and then blend them together with the in-betweens. Right now I'm working on the hands, and I really wanted to keep them with simple blocks of colors, not too much blending, because I don't know, I just kind of like how it looks. It doesn't entirely match with the face, but what can you do? So now you see I'm blocking in more color, just like big sections of purple, mixing in green to kind of break it up. If you find you have too much of like one color in one area, it can be helpful to kind of just put in, like, even if you don't see it in the reference, to put in other colors that can be similar but like from different color families, or hues I should say. Now I'm working on the hair. I should have found a better color reference, or I didn't use any color reference for this, so it's a little wonky color-wise. Later in, I go back in with browns and yellows, which I should have just done from the start, but I was thinking like, oh, black, it should be like a cool, like, bluish kind of color, and no, that just, it looks really weird. See, like, I use like a phthalo Prussian in between the pale blue and the black, and it's just, it's not the effect I was going for. But it's okay. I was having fun. So now I am putting in her baby hairs. This is like one of my favorite little details about her. I don't know, I really love like girls that do their baby hairs like this. It's really beautiful, and it just frames the face so well. So now I'm like, screwing it up again. I just put in those like big plots of white, and I had like an idea, but it really didn't work because like her hair type isn't, it's not like, the curls aren't that big. It's very like small 4C kind of curls, I imagine. So I don't know why I put in those blocks of light blue. So yeah, here's when I kind of go over everything with like a burnt umber over the braids, and it really dulls it down, and I'm glad I did that because it was so ridiculous. I think it's useful when you work with colored pencils, if you want to like blend a big area, to go in with a color that is slightly lighter than the base color and kind of just go over everything. I didn't do that here because I like a bit of separation. I don't like too much blending. But in like my more illustrative kind of work, I tend to blend things more. And there I am with the sienna, which is a very nice, it adds like some translucency to the hair. I'm glad I did that. And translucency, it sounds kind of weird out of context, but like if you have like a big chunk of like, I don't want to say chunk, but a big fluff of really curly hair, you'll see a little bit of the environment behind it, I guess. I don't know. So I just add the eyelashes, and I forgot to add reds in the corner of the eyes, so I did that. And for her shirt, I just used like a really light purple, because again, her purple is her color, and it's supposed to look kind of cozy because she doesn't like a lot of clothing textures. I imagine her of having like some kind of SPD related disorder, like ADHD, so she's very like particular about clothing fabrics, and that's kind of a self-insert kind of thing. So I just put in like a boring pink background, but you know, I think it doesn't really need a background. You can kind of get away with it. So I hope you liked my first art video and first YouTube video. Well, not my first, but whatever. I think I'm gonna use more of the face claims I found, because I found like a lot. I went on a deep search for face claims and it was so fruitful. So I'm going to use those to do some more of these character portraits, and maybe do like a little series of speed draws or paints or whatever, talking about like an art subject and a little bit about the character I'm drawing. So yeah, I hope you watch them. This is a fun new experience. I don't know where it's going, but thank you for watching regardless.